Hello and welcome back to the GDL channel. Finally, we deliver top division power rankings, in which we do the exact same thing as last time in GDL 2, but with slightly better teams, hopefully. I'm joined by
Hopefully.
Fish,
Hello.
Carmen,
Me.
Howdy.
and Chuke.
Hello.
Alright, so just simply as this goes is, we just talk shit about your team, and about the other
Yeah.
teams.
That's
And
my
our
favorite
teams.
thing to do.
Perfect background
Sometimes we
content.
even praise them.
Yeah,
I will.
but not this one on the screen, it's scary,
Oh,
but it
okay.
has no steel type, so that one's shit.
No psychic resist moment.
I don't know. It has a dragon pulse. How bad can it be?
Good point. Nah,
Oh, you're
but
right.
yeah, let's get to it. We'll name Terra types as they as teams come up. So first we have Terra. Terra has rock, water, dark on cloth, and ice, ground, water on glaceon. And I have to say, this is the first team ever I've seen with no steel type that still looks pretty good.
Is it Terra
Yeah,
dark
honestly.
specifically to get like a dark type on this team?
Yes.
God, yeah, it doesn't have a dark type or a steel type. And
Yeah.
none of the terrors are steel as well. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just terrifying.
yeah, it's very terrifying. Like
Okay.
because Slowking D kind of switched into most special moves in his leaves again.
Yeah. I mean, so you've got Tornado Therian, you've got Slowking Galar, you've got Tier 3 Rotom Heat, you've got Azumarill, and you've got Dragapult. Like, how the fuck are you dealing with that?
Well,
You know?
I think
And then the
this
low
team-
tiers aren't even that bad.
Yeah, but I think this team is pretty bad into Ghosts. For like reasoning wise, yeah, is they don't hit them hard with stab aside from only Dragapult. They
Yeah.
Ghosts also spin block, and this team has one spinner at Stonefan, which means hazard stacking against this team is very viable.
That is very
Uh,
true.
I think it definitely lacks resistances to a lot of things, where you're relying on one Pokemon to come in.
Yeah.
If you're bringing Regigigas every single game to deal with like Spec Shadow Ball might become an issue.
I think realistically though, this is just a hyper offense. You know, you've got Libani to set up webs.
Yeah.
Slowking can come in and take almost any hit and then just switch out with Regenerate or two.
Mhm.
Tornadus is a great like bulky option while still, you know, keeping that offensive pressure up. And then obviously there's Dragapult, right? Mm. But it definitely has its weaknesses.
Speed tier wise, it looks okay. I think it looks pretty balanced overall.
I think that's why I'm
Sure.
not. That's why I'm not hating over Virizion. Personally, I would kind of see can I maybe take off something, kind of some combination to get a steel type in there or a dark type. I feel like you can. If we're speaking of somehow improving this team, it'd probably be getting rid of one of them. You know, you don't necessarily need Virizion to switch into raw ground moves because you do have Levitate.
Virizion
and
isn't the
multi.
best fighting type either.
Yeah, it's good value in 4 though, so like I can definitely see.
It's very good value. But yeah, you're like offensive fighting type being like, or just your fighting type being Virizion is definitely a problem if you need to break those like, you know, steel walls. So
I think it's
Mhm.
like this team is best at playing HO, but it also tries to go balanced. You know, you have regen cores and like you have 3 of them.
Mhm.
A lot of Nook spam as well.
yeah,
It definitely seems like more of a balanced team than hyper offense. Unless you play into the hyper offense, I feel like this team might struggle against certain matchups.
yeah.
Like we talked
So
about like
the way-
Spec Shadow Ball firing off if you don't bring Regigigas.
the way I see it is that this team is just hyper offense, but it's got a lot of staying power while still being hyper offense. You know.
Yeah.
Because you can bring a Assault Vest Slowking, right? And you know you're dishing out a ton of damage while also having that regenerating to heal up. Like, again with Tornadus. Then Cloth can do similar things, and you've got a gamble if it's Anger Shell or Regenerator.
Yeah.
You know.
I do think there's a little bit of a power, like lack of direct power. There's a lot of setup, but direct power is like choice on Dragapult and choice Azumarill.
Yeah, that's.
I will say
that's true.
I do like Livani webs here as a way to support Dragapult, because the way a lot of people are going to try to deal with Dragapult is just to throw a scarf on something to revenge it, and Livani with webs takes that away. So you got to think of other ways to
Yeah.
deal with Dragapult.
I mean, you could be Terra and then run Livani webs, keep up the webs, and then still run Scarf Dragapult and not have enough damage and lose. But yeah, I'll still give it a 7, which is higher than it should get for lacking 2 big typings. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like it. I'll give it a 7.
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I think a 7 is
I
fair.
think seven's
It's very
across the
strong,
board.
but it's weaknesses, right?
Yeah. Right. Next team, we have araizajoey.
Monkey.
We take a little step down for speed. Right. We have 2 above 100, which isn't fantastic. We have a very safe build here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The guys are bulky. The types are well-rounded enough, but
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly going to be like... This is really another build that really wants to play balance. And I don't think it's too viable doing anything else. Which means that you're going to be bringing that Palisade most week. You're going to be bringing that P2 most weeks. You're going to be bringing, like, Empoleon pretty much every week. And it's mostly going to be just bulky. So then you have, like, a rotating cast of 3 others that try to do something.
See,
instead of, like, taking
I
hits
think
and
it's-
leaving.
I think it's the opposite. I think Cinderace, Monkey Dory, and Hydreigon are coming every week, and then you've got your choice of what you want to have as your defensive, like, backbone team. Because realistically, your only like offensive threats that are like really threatening are Cinderace, Monkey Dory, and Hydreigon, right? Passimian, I mean, I love Passimian, but it's not like it.
Tier
kinda
4
needs
for
to
a
be
reason.
smart.
For a
You
reason, it is... for reference, it's fighting Dark, Poison, Palisand's
Yeah.
Groundwater, Fairy, and...
Yeah.
We've seen, it's a proven theory. If you have a Pokemon with very good base stats, and you turn it to a Fairy type, it's pretty good.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why everyone does it.
Yeah. For me, I would have probably got rid of, like, Darkspun for, like, DogeTheNoob. It's a random ass suggestion.
Yeah, I was also
But
thinking
I'm thinking if you get...
Dashbun is your only.
Go
Sorry, I
on.
was thinking Dashbun is like your only defensive fire resist is not great because Dashbun sucks.
Yeah, Darkspun's pretty ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might have to try something like that. Either get speed or get some, you know.
Yeah. Like one more offensive threat for this team would be really nice.
I don't
'Cause
really.
then-
Yeah.
Everything is so
physical threat.
bulky, and they're not having the innate breaking power that I feel like this team kind of needs, other than Cinderace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like all the Pokemon on this team though.
Mhm.
Especially Electros. I think Electros is just really, really slept on by so many people.
Yeah, it's very. You can slap it if you.
It's so reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
It can come every game. It's got a move for like almost every situation that you need, right? You know, obviously there's the no weaknesses with Levitate and it being an electric type, but like it's like so much more than that. And I think people just don't see that a lot in draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that Pokemon.
But generally, I do think this team it's pretty good. Wish there was maybe like one other like switch into ground moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the two that are there are pretty decent. But it's weak to like Mold Breaker or Gravity. But you know, who would ever run Gravity?
Yeah, who would ever run Gravity in
Who would do
this day and age?
Nah, but I'll still give it like a 7.5. I don't mind the team.
I'll say 7 myself. I think it's about on par for different reasons than the previous one.
I really want to give it an 8, but yeah, I think just getting a physical flying type does like wonders for this team. So I think I'm gonna say 7 for now, but like I think it goes up to an 8 or a 9. With that.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give it a 7.
I think I really like this team.
Yeah, it gives good vibes. So that's a good factor to consider. You know, we have to bring Sylvester into this a little bit.
It's the Vibe squad.
All right, next teams we have Pittsburgh, and then we will have Doge later on. But yeah, first Pittsburgh's feeders with Chuke. We have Water Fighting Ghost Poliwrath and Ice Electric Steel Cryogonal.
We have the team mascot in Archelodon representing the giant bridge in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yep. Sure is.
Now the team mascot is always Poliwrath.
Yeah.
That bro is there. Nah, this team is very, very fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's not.
Do you want to walk us through it, like
Yeah, go.
before we rip it apart?
Oh well, I mean, I just tried to. Because obviously, I had my first pick made for me because the day of the draft was one of my housemates' birthday, so I let him pick a tier 1 for me. He picked Iron Hand, so I drafted Achelles on it because that was his second choice.
All right, checks out.
I just tried to build a team that could both function in and out of rain, and I think I did at least decently with that.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you know, I do have rain, and I also have Ebs plus Arcanine Hisui, so...
Yeah, I think Arcanine Hisui contributes a lot to, like, being able to fight through, like, bulky grass types.
Yeah.
Which, you know...
I mean, it's definitely a rain team. I think you're always going to be stronger in rain.
Yeah.
But I do really like the options you've got outside of rain as well. And it's always good to have when you're going for like a theme team, right? It's like if you're you know, not strong outside of your weather or outside of your terrain, then you're just gonna get countered. Like somebody's gonna bring Sunny Day on a Pokemon and your life is over.
Yeah. Like I think Pooky's team is better than mine in rain. I don't play him, but I would never bring rain against him.
No, but in this scenario, for example, I don't love Weirdeer. He feels like he's just out to take off types. If that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like you know
exactly why I drafted him.
Yeah, fair enough. I was like, maybe you can do something else, like a niche hazards lead or something, because you don't really have too much for the hazard game. Like, you're competent enough. That's that's not the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, you're not grass weak on your rain team, but it is always nice to have on a rain team.
Honestly,
That's absolutely.
I don't really love the grass matchup. Like, I think this struggles really hard against like a shaman. Like, Cryogonal sheds something kind of, but you know.
I don't think you want to bring Cryogonal as your main answer.
No.
But like, no, I mean, I really like Weirdeer. I think it's still tier 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just a really solid tier 4. Maybe it is taking off types, but like, it's always got like something it can do. I feel like, or even if it doesn't, there's always going to be at least one matchup where you look at Weirdeer and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that can work. So
yeah, that's basically what I'm doing for my game later today. I am bringing Weirdeer.
Don't release this.
Wait, when's this game being played?
Release this tomorrow, Tobias.
I'm playing at 5.
Alright, cool. I'll make sure to release after.
Release it specifically before the match so he can be prepared.
Yeah, as the match starts, like.
Weirdeer gaming.
Yeah. But honestly,
I think it's fine to have Pokemon that, like, realistically are only going to come 1 or 2 games in the season.
Yeah. But those 1 or 2 games it will be helpful.
Yeah,
it'll be really helpful, and it's always there as well for your opponent to think about, even if you have no, intention of bringing it.
Yeah, I was like that same thing with my like Work Midnight that we'll get into later, but like I like the speed tier, and it's gonna come into at least 1 game where I like it. It's matchup.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll give this like an 8.3 for no specific reason.
I'll give it an 8.31.
Ooh.
I am torn between 7 and 8. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I just like it. It's a nice team.
I do like Decadewey on it, out of Situai.
I don't really like the CDY, to be honest.
I think it's
I don't
okay.
like it as Pokemon, but
in general, or on this team?
In general. On this team, I think it's fine. Does it get Hurricane?
No, I don't know.
It does.
I don't think you ever use it though. So.
Maybe not,
you do.
But it's
Because you want to mostly go fully on the rain offense most times.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, what do you rate your own team?
Ooh, I was gonna have Stain, but I don't know. I guess I am Grass Week. I didn't quite catch that until it was said, but
I'm gonna smoke you with Gastrodon.
Give it an 8. I really like it.
Oh, Storm Drain Gastrodon.
He's gonna bring every grass move available. He's gonna charge Raw Solar Beam just for the super effective damage. Alright, yeah, but moving on. Next team. We have Golden Road Guard Dogs, DogeTheNoob, coming in with his, mascot pick Okidogi.
The Futurinator.
Some of the best Terra captains in the full map for sure. We have Miss Magius, Ghost Fairy Fighting, Indeedee Fairy, Psychic Fairy Fire, I think both
Really
of
nice.
those are great choices. I do wish when you see like in DDF that like you at least put some unburden thing somewhere, you know?
But there's just nothing.
Yeah,
Watch out for
don't
that
know,
Psychic Seed Meowscarada acrobatics.
yeah, but I think this has a really dynamic offensive deal with Meowscarada Sandy Shooks. I think
Yeah.
I think there's not really many games where you're not gonna bring both of them.
I guess that bulky grasses are kind of weird, but then you have triple axe on Meow, so that's fine.
Yeah. You know, Corviknight Fortress Blastoise is very solid. They're all a bit setup prone.
They're pretty passive, yeah.
So you're probably gonna. I think Blastoise gets haze, so you're probably gonna want to do that a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Now, but I think you have very good like carry Pokemon like that. Like Meow, Sandy Shocks mostly come to most games, right? You have that really good defensive trio, and then you have so many like offensive role players that can really support what you need them to do. So, like, I feel like when you learn to the builder, you're already good enough to put in 4 Pokemon that just come that week, and then you see which other 2 are good at.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what to think of this team, but now you've put it like that. It is really nicely laid out.
I'm not sure. I guess Abomasnow's just here to be like bulky grass because this Meowscarada's like the frail.
Yeah,
I just
that
kind
one
of
was like, you know.
I just
sticking
kind of
out
saw
to me.
him as like set up Veil and then go for like some stupid like weakness policy okie dokie or something, you know, like
Puchinator.
having
Just bulk
having
it up.
tier 4 Veil is such value. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I do like
Speed is very nice. This team is very fast.
I do like Ndidi being fire because Flareon fucking sucks. So
Oh, that's
I like
Yeah.
Flareon, but he's very bad.
He does
How-
not do.
He's only the 7th best evolution.
Oh, you're right.
Aren't
No,
there
but
8 of them?
If Pyro is still
No.
available, I think that's like just an objective upgrade.
I think Pyro got picked
Yeah.
up. We can take a
Is
look.
Houndoom still there?
Yeah, Houndoom's still there.
That might be better choice.
Nah, but I think you don't really suffer about like not having a dragon. I think this team's very fine. I would
That's what I was-
definitely give it like an 8.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
team is very difficult to work around, all things considered, like when you fight against it. I think this is 8.
Yeah.
Also, we forgot about the best fire type. Macargo is available.
Ooh.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, but that just invalidates like in Rock Dust. You don't need a second rock
Yeah.
type.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, pick up Macargo and drop like and rock or something.
Now.
Alright, and one thing I like about this team is that at least I've seen Doge use Masquerada 2 seasons in a row over at DL, and I think last season he had Masquerada and Corviknight, so I think Doge has something he likes with those
Yeah, he-
2 Pokemon.
The
Yeah.
classics. Well, yeah.
It's always good to pick like Pokemon you're familiar with.
Comfort
as well.
picks, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind the team though.
I think we'll give this team an 8.
I'll give 7.5.
Uh,
I've just seen it lose, so you know, can't give it too high of a rating.
I think I'll give it an 8. I think it has potential.
Well, he didn't bring the Puchinator, that's why it lost.
Spoilers for Doge versus Anzaro.
They were releasing this either, late today or tomorrow. That's their fault if they haven't watched it.
Yeah, true.
And now it's time.
Yes, both of you.
Oh no!
All right. Fish, run us through it, man.
All right. I wanted to use Ursaluna. That's about it. I picked up Ursaluna. I picked up Deoxys Defense to teleport Ursaluna in, and yeah. I don't know. I like playing balance. So I've got Deoxys D and Mandibuzz. It's like my hard walls.
Yeah.
I made up sure and picked up like as much removal as I could, meaning 2 pieces of removal, so I don't have to bring Mandibuzz with default every game, because that's a trap that I've fallen into before. And other than that, just support and offensive threats, and Morgrim because he's funny.
Morgrim is very funny.
Yeah, I don't dislike this team. Right, it's very light on Ursaluna for damage, I think. And also, I think it kind of needs a Pokemon with Haze or something that's reliably going to just kind of use a lot of phasing moves.
Yeah.
Because Deoxys D Mandibuzz are kind of prone to being like SD'd on or just set up on in general.
Very true. Mandibuzz gets Whirlwind, And
Are you gonna bring more one every game though? And that's
no,
the
but
thing.
you know, case by case.
Mhm.
And yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely something I'm aware of. But I think it's something that I can play around. We've also got Frostlast with Destiny Bond, stuff like that. But
I like the speed on your team for sure.
My speeds were pretty rough when I was it was like near the end of the draft, and I didn't have Frostlast or Lycanroc.
Yeah,
I was thinking there with Infernape was my fastest one.
I think it looks fun to use, right? I think it definitely it seems enjoyable. I definitely think it's weak to just being overwhelmed by faster shit. You do have Trick Room as an option for the Oxus, right? But you don't have anything that's like really strong and bulky, because I think Luna always on the timer. But yeah, I'll do like you're gonna be really pushing to get the best out of Magneton here, because you really need it for defensive typing. But yeah,
I often end up. I mean, I think Magneton is a great tier 4, especially now that it can Terra.
Yeah.
But I often find myself relying too much on it as a steel type.
Yeah. You definitely want to tear out of your steel type most cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I'll give it like a 7, 6.5 maybe. I don't hate it, but
I was gonna say 6.5. The just lack of sheer power off the start. Like Ursulina, obviously, yeah. And unless you're running like specific choice item Infernape, I feel like this team gets damage in, but then kind of loses in the longer game or mid game.
I love Frostlast. Choice-bound Frostlast is something that I could see myself bringing every game. I think that's definitely an offensive threat. But I definitely agree. Like, I don't have anything that can just break something other than Ursulina. But at the end of the day, that's what I want my team to do, is support Ursulina. So I love that one.
yeah, fair
I
enough.
do not like Ursulina.
I learned to like it after last season. I can vouch. It's a little bit good.
It is good, that's why I don't like it.
Sometimes you just beat Gangster for free because he messes up one time.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, but if nothing else,
Sometimes you just beat Sheik because you press bulk up 3 times in a row.
But yeah.
yo, did you guys remember that we just had a team? It was a team with fish, and it had speed issues. So I would like to direct your attention to the right of the screen.
Yep, I have
No.
speed issues. These speed tiers are abysmal.
This team, okay, so this conference team, right? It's cool. I like it. That's the wrong one. I like the team. I mean, I just lost to it. But it has good vibes. I think it definitely has a big speed issue, and it has an issue where your only resistance to rock is Hitmonchan?
Hitmonchan,
Yeah.
that guy.
So like strong rock moves, you're kind of switching in Lando and Skarm. It's kind of suboptimal. They can do it, but
It's
yeah.
not what you want to do.
Yeah, it's weak to
I
ice
do
as
really
well.
like this team, though.
I like the team, but for me, it's a little bit like cluttered for like a little bit. Where you really want some more resistance just to play the balance that this is clearly going towards.
Yeah, for sure. To answer
the
that,
speed tiers is definitely.
I don't remember drafting this team. The day of the draft, I was busy the entire day, and I left picks, and then most of my stuff got picked, and I was like, oh, this is not good. So the draft will come up to me, and I'll be like in the middle of doing something, just screw it, Vigavolt's kind of bulky, has attack, put him on. And just like, that was the process.
You repeated that for your entire team. No, it's bulky.
I got
has
bulky,
attack.
kind of special attack, forget about speed, it's fine.
While speed is definitely an issue, I think you can get very far with just having an extremely bulky offensive, like, just team. And then you've got Latios as your speed to kind of clean things if you need to. And then Zangoose is another great breaker that people often underestimate.
I was looking at the draft board, like, at round Grays, and that's when I picked the Volcanion over Basculegion to have a better ice resistance.
Yeah.
But I was looking back again, I was trying to find something of like value to trade something in else for. But I was like really struggling genuinely to try to adjust this team so it doesn't miss out on something else to cover for ice or rock.
It would maybe like be some steel somewhere that's like not Skarmory, because Skarmory is also kind of competing with Lando, even though like obviously Skarmory is good, right? But
Mhm.
you can definitely get more out more uniqueness out of those two slots.
I originally wanted Ting Lu in Latios, and then Ting Lu got picked. I just went Lando, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, Lando's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think there's some changes you could make to this team.
Yeah, if it's dropping Lando,
Well,
send me a DM. I'm interested.
I think there's definitely some changes you could make.
I'm not sure I want to
really
drop
like
Lando.
all the Pokemon on this team.
What are the steel types are around on the board? Let's see. There's Tink.
There's like
that's
There's Iron Crown now as well.
but I have Latios. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'll give it. Hold on. Critical hit chance Pokemon. I'll give it 6.25%. I'll give it 6.25 out of 10.
Nice.
Excellent.
For actual team usage, probably like a 5.5. But
Yeah, this is not.
just in vibes,
Yeah.
it's like an 8 or 9. I love this team.
Yeah, we go
Yeah, I
through
was
vibes.
thinking like 8.5 out of 10, which is like Power Whip's accuracy, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. Wait, then
I was gonna
no.
give it.
Chuke, shouldn't that be 0 out of 10? Or am I?
Oof. I was gonna give it like a 4. I like the team like in
Yeah.
general, like using it, but I don't like the structure of it in terms of like how
Yeah,
it
I think
actually
this
works.
is like a 4.5 for me.
This is the
gotta
classic
be.
Carmen maneuver. Draft the bad team, go 3 and 5.
Yeah,
The classic 3 and 5.
yeah. But yeah, I reckon just move to the next one so we're not here for 15 years.
Yeah.
Alright, next one we have CapnPooky. For reference, he's
It's a
putting
better
up,
rain team than mine.
he's putting up with the normal, stellar, and fairy on Tauros, and ghost, ground, and fairy on Drifloon, which cannot use Unburden plus Terra.
Stellar on Tauros? That's
Yes, Stellar can
That's
boost
weird.
like all of his attacking moves, and since Tauros is kind of just using like body slam and 3 coverage moves.
Oh,
kinda-
okay.
it
Never
kinda
mind, that makes sense.
You get
I-
all of it.
I still don't get Stellar
okay.
Terra.
I did forget about that
never will.
functionality of it.
Fine.
Yeah, I think when you have Keldeo, you don't need to be fighting, you know.
Yeah.
No, this team, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah,
There's bulk. There's rain without rain.
like this team is really good, right? Even though it's got like 3 flying types. I look at it and I'm like, that's 3 flying types, and then I'm like trying to see a like bad thing about that, and it's like your rock matchup. But
Yeah. Well,
I don't think it's even that bad.
it's a very bit matchup against Gravity, so that's
But who would ever run gravity?
Who would ever run Gravity? And Pookie's team.
Dude, no.
yeah. You're right.
I would never.
I think he's no longer scared of Grass Knot. I'd like to direct your attention to the Grass matchup where he has 7 resists and then X4 resists.
My man has been traumatized. Not only did he not pick up Great Tusk, he also picked up every grass resist possible.
We have
Where's the
3
where's the-
flying types specifically to stop the grass.
Hold on.
It's
How
impressive.
heavy are his grass weaknesses?
Not heavy. Probably weighs like nothing.
No, I don't think it's that heavy.
I think this team is like one again that's like fun to use. If I'm dropping criticism, it's like it is quite rock weak, I do think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means you kind of have to bring Bronzing every game, and Bronzing is sometimes setup bait. So like, if I don't know if there's like a Terrakion, I know it's not drafted, right? But if I'm Terrakion user, I click sub on the switch, and what the fuck does the opponent do?
Mhm.
Like,
Very true.
Hmm?
That is very true. Well, you go into Noivern with Infiltrate
doesn't
and
exist.
die anyway.
He's gonna run.
Click
Doesn't
psychic
exist.
noise. And
He's,
get
he's gonna
some.
run Frisk. Yeah. Nah, but let's keep it short and sweet. I'll give it a 7.8.
I was gonna give it an 8. I like this team. It has
Yeah.
speed, unlike mine.
Very good speed
7.5. I do like this team a lot.
Trying to think.
I guess no fairy is a weakness, but you have 2 Terra fairies, and Taurus can do intimidate with that as well. So it's flexibility.
Pookie and I are friends. We've talked about this team a lot because we were debating whether anything should be changed. And I don't remember if we ended up changing anything. I think it was like Volbeat.
Yeah. But we
So
very,
you use
very
the tier
beautiful. We chose the most handsome tier 5.
But yeah, no, yeah, it has its weaknesses, right? But like, I think it's just strong. I think it's an 8. Just a solid team.
Right. Well, Achelles on the other hand, we haven't seen in action yet.
We have a new
This
squad.
We'll see you guys.
I see, bro.
Bye, Chu.
This is one of the teams ever. We
have new members.
we lose to Edgequake. It's not ideal. Like, I made a roadmap for him. It's like, does the opponent have Edgequake? Yes. Okay. Do I have Sanaconda and Appleton? If yes, I can win. If no, I will lose. I think
Gravity.
I honestly can see where this team's going. It has like really strong offense, but I still don't like it.
We got the Slowking backs. We have some defensive guys.
Yeah, it's like Slowking into Bax and Moth, I guess. It's kind of what this team's trying to do, but then we're going like Sandaconda, Avalog, and Pheasantipity. Like, are we going for balance? Or are we going for? It looks like balance, but I don't think it's a great balance team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still good.
I'm looking at all these mons individually, and they're all good individually.
Yeah.
Right.
For some reason,
And
Avalog's
I
Terra
feel
normal.
like that doesn't
but...
make a bad team.
Terra normal.
Like, say that
Why
again?
would we go Terra normal?
Paranormal, I guess, for the Ghost matchup. It's Rook, Ghost, Normal, and Appleton is Grass, Steel, Fairy.
It makes sense if it's your
So-called free
spinner,
think
right?
is when Appleton Terra types.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this team can't be bad. 'Cause, as I say, like all the mons individually are good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how they.
I don't like
fit
Kilowatt
together.
Troll, but aside from that, yeah.
A lot of pivot. Removal is Avalok. Spin.
Yeah,
And-
Scissor
And Scissor
Deepwood, I
Deepwood,
guess.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't love this team, but it's how to say, it's good, but it gives me not fun vibes. So for that, I can only give it like a 7, even though
Yeah.
I recognize it's good.
Edgequake.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the opposite of Carmen's team, right? It's like, in like how good it is. Yeah, I think it's like a 7, maybe an 8, honestly. I think it does have a lot of potential, but it just in terms of fun and everything that's going on, it's like I don't like it
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
I think I'm just bad at drafting mons.
No, you've got a great team, just not.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not a functional team, but it's a fun team.
Yeah.
But
At
yeah,
the end of the day, that's what that matters.
yeah, but I'll stick to my 7.
I'll go 7 as well.
I'll go 7.5.
Alright. Next up, we have Xander. With the
Iron Hand.
Bastion pick. Yeah. I don't love this team. It's very slow.
But he has Poopa unwiped.
Yeah, but it's kind of like your team where it has very good Pokemon, but I guess Iron Hands kind of still checks anything up +2, so that's something that's going for it. But for me, like Braviary and Articuno, you're never ever gonna bring both of them. I think you could, but
Yeah.
it's gonna clash. I mean, Articuno is.
Articuno doesn't get default anymore, does it?
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, that's probably why why you've got Braviary then.
Yeah.
But bringing, like, I know they're both your removers. Right? There's a lot of removal in this team.
Yeah, you have Cincino as well. You have Tentacool.
Yeah.
No,
There's a lot of like overlap.
I do like this team, but not that much. Also, there's another slow pivot to get Hoopa in. Or Webs. I don't want really.
I really like Hoopa. I think it's such a fun one to use.
I think it's also one of the only teams that doesn't spend all of its points. It has like 40 left over for some reason. So you could just upgrade Braviary into something else. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Fast. But it's not awful. But I also at the same time really like this team. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's something missing.
The thing that's missing is pivot. I really like this team, like conceptually, right? I think Iron Hands and Hoopa Unbound are super fun to use. Tentacool is a great one. It's very versatile. Sinistra, I used I think last season.
I hate Sinistra. To be fair, that was just my fault for just prepping bad and having a bad team against it.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, Sinister is just insane. Grambles, again, really fun. And then, I mean, I'll not go through every Pokemon.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I think just with some bulky pivot, this team suddenly just, like, is insane. You know?
Definitely
There's
feels
something
like
to get that
relying on
Iron Hands in,
tactics
something to
stuff.
get that Coupon bound in safely. And suddenly this team just, like, how do you deal with it, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with a Hooper that just got in for free? You know?
And then you lose your checks and then Hands just wipes you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but same time, I can only really give it a 7.
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, I love it, but yeah, at the moment it's like a 6 or a 7, right?
I was gonna give it a
But-
6.5.
You could change 1 or 2 Pokemon, and this team is amazing. Like an
Yeah,
8 or 9,
I agree.
maybe even a 10.
Alright.
Maybe not a 10, but yeah.
Alright, let's get into the next one. We have Jumperkables. We have on this team we have Orthworm with Steel, Poison, Ghost, and Morpeko with Double Stab and Fairy Star types.
Bug weakness.
I don't love this team. It does the job. It has a lot of Pokemon that come every week, you know. So like a lot of these weaknesses are all because you're stacking like I don't know lower tiers that don't have great defensive matchups like
Yeah.
you know Morpeko and Komala and stuff make you really fighting weak. So what? You bring Latios Sylveon anyway. Nah, it's definitely kind of lacking fast physical attacker. There's basically you have priority right through Rillaboom and Mamoswine, but
Yeah.
like some of all the fast Pokemon are special and all the slow Pokemon are physical.
Can be
So-
abused pretty easily.
Yeah.
So this team has just changed today.
Yeah.
They just made a bunch of transactions today.
Mhm.
So I'm still kind of getting used to this team. I'm not sure how I think about it. So I actually didn't mind their old team. It definitely wasn't good. But it had a Heatran on it. It had Heatran, Rillaboom, Latias, which it just like that's just terrifying, right? And they're all very versatile. They can either be really bulky or really offensive. And you're losing Heatran. You still got the Latias and Rillaboom, which again, really versatile, really offensive, but can also be defensive. And I love that. Yeah.
I will say this team isn't great into just like flying move spam because this Orthworm I think you can definitely easily force this Orthworm to Terra every week, and that's something that Jumperkables is gonna have to play around, right? Because if you're playing a strong flying type, if you're playing Staraptor, and you have a big pickle where either you're going to just give up that you don't have any switch-ins, right? Or you're going to change, you know. Like, or you keep this as a steel type, and then Orthworm is, you know, it's usually quite a Terra sponge. It kind of wants to switch to Poison or Ghost. So it's going to be very suboptimal to relying on that. But it's not a bad team, so I can't really give it a low score. But
no, I really like how he's using this Orthworm. Terra Poison is like actually really, really good on it.
Yeah, you have one weakness.
People don't really bring a lot of psychic coverage.
And now it's not perfect, but he's just picked up the Morpeko. He didn't have a Dark type before, which meant he couldn't really take advantage of the fact that Orthworm's only weakness is Psychic, right?
Yeah.
So you're forcing that. But now with the Morpeko, again, it could be a better Dark type, but I think Morpeko's still does it fine.
Yeah.
But it's like you're forcing that 50-50 of do I press like the psychic move to hit this, or do I press something so that Morpeko can't switch in for free, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
I like that. But I'll still only give it like a 6.3. It's not fantastic.
I'll go 6.5 as well. In this one.
I'm having a tough time deciding. I think I'll go 6.
Alright.
I'd like to see this used still, with, like,
Yeah.
'cause my opinion's not changed completely.
Alright. Next
Giraffe
one.
time.
Next one we have me. Well, I'll just tell you a bit of a story and then you guys can critique it. Well, it has 2 drafts. That's the main goal of it. I definitely got low
Great
tier
story,
value.
great analysis of your team.
Yeah, I definitely got low tier value early. right? But I have some Pokemon with like really outstanding stats in one, if that makes sense. Like I have Raging Bolt, who has really high HP, so you can really EV him properly, like really creatively. Same with Gudrusui, really high speed F. Same with Gastron, Hariyama, which both and Furge have high HP, so it's really easy to like EV, so you can take on any specific Pokemon. So that's something I really like. I have decent speed with Talonflame coming in. It's definitely not fantastic defensively, where I'm really trying to cover a lot with, you know, with Weezing G coming in pretty much every game, Gudrusui coming most games.
Yeah.
Like one of my Terra captains kind of has to come and just be really bulky. But the team isn't fantastic, but I do like it.
I think the team is actually pretty strong. You are right, you have to kind of fall back on some of your defensive units, and you can end up losing momentum in a match like that. But it is also a little weak to gravity. But
But who would bring gravity?
who would bring gravity? I do really like it overall. Basculin is definitely an underrated guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only picked him up for like the speed here in the middle. That's why I also have Lycanroc, right? So just hopefully force some things to run like Jolly or Timid.
I'm loving the three Pokemon at 60 speed. That's great.
That's alright.
Those guys are bulky, it's
Really
fine.
narrow, though. So yeah, this team has its issues, but I really like how bulky it is, as you say. Like you don't really need to bring too many just dedicated defensive ones at all.
Yeah, I have a lot of Pokemon that can 1v1 something that's on the screen.
Yeah. Like Hariyama is a great Terra captain.
Yeah.
I think, and you know, as you say, it's really bulky, but can also dish out offense. It's kind of the same for like all of your low tiers, apart from Gastrodon, who can't really dish out the damage.
Yeah.
But like all of your low tiers, they're slow, but they're bulky and do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And Weezing, I guess. But I've seen Weezing do pretty well offensively. Actually.
Even
And then-
Zarina is bulky.
Yeah, Zerus got a surprising amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your fast ones, you can just stick a choice item on them, stick a life order or whatever, have them come in, after something's died, or you can get them in safely somehow,
Yeah.
and then they can just force a kill because they're all very powerful. Yeah, you've just got a lot of threats on this team. It's like, can you make that work?
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like a bit hesitant.
I don't think I think it's a little bit lacking in hazards. It's kind of Gastrodon, and I have T-Spikes, but they usually don't have the move slots.
But overall, that's okay, because you do have, like, the Fogger's not Rapid Spin, so that's not really the main function of this team.
Yeah. No, but I can only give myself like a 7. I think it's alright. I like using it, but I'm not opposed to making transactions.
I'll give you a 7.5, I think it's pretty good.
I think a 7 is fair. I think it's like, it's very like, it swings very, very much dependent on the matchup. I feel like, I feel like there's definitely going to be some weeks where you just don't have like enough, bulk to really, wear down a team. But I think there's going to be some weeks where, someone just can't touch the combination of Hariyama, Griva, and Furgiraffe, and you just wear them down.
Yeah.
I like it, but yeah, I think a 7 is a good rating.
Right. Next up we have Anzaro. Well, I love this team, honestly. I think this team. It has Colossal, Fire, Grass, Ghost, and Substriker, Bolt Beam, and Ground. I think this team is very cool. It has so many creative options. Like Yomega has like 2 abilities that you can build different sets around, right? You have Arboliva bringing kind of like grassy terrain if you need it from Metagross or some other guys. A lot of power with Enamorous Great Tusk.
Hitting on both sides.
Has Anzaro ever drafted a bad team? I genuinely don't know.
He got relegated once. Maybe that one was very good, but
Maybe I don't remember, but I just, at least the past couple of seasons, I feel like his teams have just been like nuts.
Yeah. I guess it's the same with me. Like, I'll never build a terrible team. It might not be the best, but it will be decent, you know. Same as Anzaro.
Meanwhile, I'm the opposite. I always build a very not okay team. That's
you
the
always
consistent
just
practice
about-
of GDL.
You know, and you always do just well enough. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing we need to mention is that Anzaro got Great Tusk on the wheel.
Yeah.
Great Tusk did not go round 1, and then what pick was Anzaro? It's like 12 or something.
14.
14.
So, like, I was 13th. I was gonna take Great Tusk. He came back to me, but I had to stick for a draft round 1 for the culture.
Their ass.
Yep. I don't get it. How did he get Great Tusk?
Because no
some
one
guy-
wanted it, even
we
though it's good.
had big staarii going for round 1 Iron Treads.
Big treads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, there's not really much to critique. It has definitely got
think-
some weaknesses, but you can really.
Ramos fine weekend.
I feel like you don't really care. I feel like you just slap on Great Tusk Metakurs most weeks and bring whichever role players you need to deal with.
There's-
You know.
You got some good pivots. You got fast guys.
So scary.
Yeah.
Manaphy can take a game if you're not careful.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is your fast Pokemon aren't amazing offensively, right? Like Cyclizar is normally going to be your spinner and more like defensive. And then Zebstrika, I mean, Anzaro is nuts when it comes to low tiers, and I just don't get it. And he's been doing like magic with the Zebstrika even, you know,
He's
already.
He's
I think
been,
he's brought it
doing this
both
bullshit.
games.
He's been doing
Really?
this bullshit where he has like Volcarona and Houndoom and then brings Houndoom for some reason.
Yeah. I don't get it. And then, you know, obviously last season with the Driftbun of Doom.
Yeah.
But it's still relatively weak on the fast side. Like your like fastest offensive threat is Namnus.
Yeah, it's
And,
been
you
it's a bit F consists of.
Yep.
Also,
Yep.
no, there's like Obeliva, Manaphy, Spirit Team that can
Yeah.
run Spadef, but it's not great. So for
I
that,
think Manaphy's pretty decent as a
Yeah.
Spadef role.
yeah, but I'll give it like an 8. 10 out of
I'm
10,
gonna
10 out of
give
10
it-
for like being fun.
Yeah, this team likes to just hit hard, switch out. do
It's just
things.
vibe. It's just a vibe, right? Like
Mhm.
you bring in Great Tusk, you press close combat, something takes 60%, you know, resisted, and you laugh.
Voice band, Great Tusk.
Get Kill Leader.
Yeah.
And the final two.
No, this is formal.
Oh.
Oh no.
Alright, first we have RandomHero. RandomHero has a Hazard stacking team with Tinglu, Goldengo blocking, spin blocking. You have Staraptor just take down anything that you want gun. And then like some really good role players in like Road to Watch coming most games kind of existing. Serena, Cliff and Rapid Spin, and Tauros Blaze is, you know, obviously very good value. From there, it goes downhill a little bit with the low tiers that I don't really see doing
Yeah, I
much.
was gonna say
Kind of just exist.
the Terra Captains like don't seem like they're doing anything.
Yeah, Terra
It's,
Captains are
my
like
main
normal fairy,
criticism.
normal fairy ghost Dunspaws, Dragon Fairy, Poison Executor. I can see Executor being decent, just run like AV with it good, with his good
No,
stats.
I think they're definitely both just like decent, but I don't see a case that you're like. It's gonna be very niche that they're coming. Whereas like your Terra Captains, you kind of want to be
Like a
able to
frequently
bring,
used
like,
team.
most games.
I agree.
Um,
I like this team in theory. I think it's a bit reliant on like Choice Scarf or something. I think for me,
Yeah,
I would
speed tiers are definitely very awkward.
I would slap.
Um,
I would take Dunsparce's Terra and give it to Raichu, and that way you get 110 base speed Pokemon that can kind of like hit way harder than you
Yeah.
could otherwise do, and it
And
becomes
Terra
way
looks
better.
like we'll just go in.
It becomes way better in every matchup as well, you know.
Yeah. It's just a very solid team.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
would do it.
It's well rounded, it
Um,
functions.
Yeah. I mean, I have my hatred of Goldengo.
Yeah.
The cheese string
but-
friend.
Goldengo supports this team really well.
Mhm.
Serena is a very good mom. That like, it doesn't really look like much on paper, but then you just realize that it's got Queen of Majesty. It's bulky. It does decent damage, get you got Rapid Spin. Like
Well, it did get a lot of them.
so
It did
much-
get a lot of its moves back recently.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
much.
When it got robbed, it wasn't as great.
I'm gonna rank it probably 7.5. For me, I would like to see a second spinner. So
I was gonna say, what's your hazard rule?
yeah, it's Arena.
Arena.
It can't
yeah.
it can't be default because there's no
literally
point.
just said
You're gonna really push hazard
Yeah.
stack, right? So you should probably focus getting like a
Yeah.
spinner. But I do like the team. I'll give 7.5.
Yeah.
I'll go 7.
Yeah, I think 7's a good point. I don't personally like the playstyle of the team, but it's definitely got potential.
All right, sounds good. Right. Yeah. Next team we have Mystic. I think this team is just I think it's unconventional, but good.
We were trying the Quaquaval thing again with Ogrepon.
I'll start with the bad. Well, its speed tiers aren't great. They're fine, but I'll start with the bad, which is there's like no water resist. There's Quaquaval, and there's Terra Water
Oh.
Rejoice.
Yeah.
But like, if you saw the week 2 game, it's gonna feature in game of the week next week. But so stay tuned for that. But I think you have Scyther, Terra Flying is so good. Terra Fighting so good. Terra Steel's really useful. I like what this team has going on, even though I would like swap 1 or 2 pieces around for like better defensive solidity.
Yeah.
But when you have this Ogrepon, you have Ogrepon and you have some Pokemon that can really remove the dragons, or like especially the fire types that Opon loses to, right? Like Quaquaval Ogrepon's a really good duo because it gets Axel now. Yeah.
I'm really struggling to understand this team.
Yeah, it's
Like I know that all of the ones are good.
Mystics teams are always unconventional as shit, and then you have to play on like what the fuck.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, something just
I'm
happens and you end
thinking
up
about
getting
how
like
I'd,
6 by
prep for this
Frost
team. Oh god, yeah. There's so much this team could do, right?
Yeah, but it's not at the same time. It's like a jack of all trades, master of what?
Yeah.
Master at getting rid of the dragon, but only once.
Yeah, I wish there was like a really fat, I don't know, water type just over, I don't know, something. If you can get rid of like tier 3 Dunsparce, even though I do like Dunsparce, if DJS is watching, then he'll disagree with me very hard. But if you can get
Well,
something
that's
really
Dunsparce.
bulky, if you can something really bulky in that slot that resists water, that could be really useful. So you can play a better defensive game and allow these weird offense cores to like really manifest. But
Well, I feel like there's some bulky water resistance in tier 5. Like some really good ones actually.
yeah,
that
it's
you could
Golduck.
replace
You're right.
I think Lapras just dropped. That could be a good replacement for Tinkertoy.
I feel like that's a surprise Regice now.
And we get rid of Tinkertoy, we lose
maybe.
our steel type.
Do we need a steel type if it's Tinkertoy? And we'll probably bring Screamtail in every game.
I guess.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll say it's a 6.2, but it has like a lot of build creativity. So we'll see how it actually plays out during the season. So we're currently 1-1, so could be worse.
Yeah. I really want to see my boss diffused well because I think that Pokemon is very, very interesting. But yeah, I really don't know
Vaporeon's
how
on the
to rate this
board.
team.
If we get Vaporeon, we can get like bulky water with Flip Turn and stuff.
Yeah.
Who?
That's true.
Vaporeon.
Yeah.
I really can't rate this team. I just don't get it. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it works really well for me.
A confusion out of 10.
Yeah.
Alright. That's a master damn weed rating, to be honest. You never know what the fuck that guy's doing either.
Yeah. Yo, it works for him, but what the fuck?
Alright, last two we have staarii.
Round 1 Iron Treads.
With
Let's
the
go.
Roman Iron Treads that did we roast it? Or
We
we
roasted it,
criticised it, but I guess they went for what they wanted to use.
I don't think.
Right.
Like, fucking Tobias here going for the round 1 Raging Bolt.
I
No, it's round 1 Fridgerath.
I went wrong for
Yeah,
Ridgeraft,
round
bro.
1 Fridgerath. Sorry, my bad. That's way better.
See,
I think
like,
criticizing the Iron Treads.
put some
You know?
respect. I do what I believe in, man. So did staarii, so I respect
Oh
it.
no, exactly.
Nah, but this team, it kind of, when this draft was going on, was taking off so many types so quickly. They did drop half of the Pokemon, but they kept like the main core.
Yeah.
I think if you just look at the top 5 on this, That's kind of insane,
top
though. Like,
5 is, yeah.
just like Articuno G is such amazing value, but like feature side pinning, that 125. Trouts is such a good role player.
I want to take a quick second
Mhm.
to talk about my favorite Pokemon in drafts, Bellibolt.
Okay.
I drafted it 2 seasons in a row, and I love using it. And I drafted it when it wasn't allowed Terra. And I think it's so versatile. Like, it doesn't get many moves. It only really gets electric moves to hit things with.
Yeah.
I have to run
Muddy
it with like,
Water.
Muddy Water. I think.
And like acid
right?
spray, and that's it.
Now I
Yeah.
click soak
But
and
then-
then
then
be
with-
water type.
I mean, yeah, you can press soak, but like, you've got really, really good defense. You've got slack off.
Yeah.
You've got volt switch as well. And electromorphosis is so nice for just threatening things. You know, suddenly you're this super defensive mon that if anything hits you that isn't like a ground type or like a grass type, you're suddenly just like doming them with a volt switch or a thunderbolt, right?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And now with Terra, you can threaten those types really well. And maybe you don't want ice type, because you're still meant to be defensive.
As Walter,
But I
which
feel
is kind
like-
of a good makeshift, right?
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah, water's a great type.
Fairy is good as well.
And then maybe something to deal with grass types, or just fairy,
Yeah.
or grass. Like, as long as you don't die, right? Like,
That
you're
is
just,
generally the
yeah.
goal.
like, yeah, that's true. But I just love Bellibolt. I think it's really, really nice, and it has so much value.
Coming to
And
your
the fact that
subbooks
it's tier
next
4
week.
still baffles me. But...
Coming to your subbooks next week. An hour rant for Fish about.
Oh, I'll do it.
All right, sounds
1
good.
hour of just Bellibolt.
Yeah, send me the
Draft
video.
Bellibolt.
I'll upload it.
yeah.
No, but this
Draft
team-
Bellibolt.
I like that the tier 5s are gonna come once or twice, but they're very good at their specific role. Right? If this, I don't know if Staarii plays RandomHero, but if they do, you just lead webs. You can spin, they can't. Just, you can spin block. Sorry, you can. Yeah. You can kind of win the hazard word very easily, and Thwacky can obviously enable Sneasler where you're not going for like poison touch, or if you want Emburden any week.
Our defensive core is
I think-
somewhat passive, but we just talked about how Bellibolt can electromorphosis and swap people.
What I don't like
Yeah.
is that Iron Treads kind of has to be defensive. Like, well, not defensive, but Iron Treads has to be support every week, pretty much, right?
It
It
doesn't
has
have
to-
an opportunity to go
yeah.
offensive.
It has to put a lot on his back, unless you want to be Cragzire, but I don't really love that. That's the only Pokemon that probably drops from this team. But yeah, you know, it has Sneasler, it has another high speed tier, it has some. Yeah, it's just really good. This is just a really good team. I don't know what else. we can say.
If we take away Bellibolt, the rest of the team is still great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has some defensive
Um,
vulnerabilities, but I feel like you're just bringing Bellibolt a lot, which helps cover them a lot. Especially being able to switch up types. Yeah,
They're great Pokemon.
I'll probably give it like, I'll give it a 9, which is probably my highest so far.
Oof. I was actually give an 8.
I was thinking the same. I think it's a 9. I really, really like this team. You've got so much going for you.
Spy Dog
even
Webs
your-
could also be pretty cheeky. If you want to go
Yeah.
Typhlosion Eruption or something like that.
Your tier 4s don't feel like tier 4s,
Mhm.
and your tier 5s are like, you know, they're tier 5s, but they've got niches.
Yeah.
I love this. Hydrapple as well is amazing. Primarina's just really solid. Maybe you're right that Iron Treads doesn't fit amazingly on this team.
No, it definitely
Um,
fits, but it needs one more support Pokemon to take away its burden.
Yeah. But no, I love this team. I think it's
Yeah.
great. Maybe another Pokemon that's a bit faster. But
Yeah,
no,
I
I
agree.
think
Alright.
I think 9 is very solid.
Now we move on to speed.
The last team.
Yeah, speaking
If
of speed,
if we're looking for speed,
This team is so
this
fast.
this
then
team has
it's
nothing. This team has nothing between 93 and 50.
The speed.
No, but Crooked is a very creative man, and we've already seen that. Like we saw a couple seasons ago when Gur had Regieleki and Zorokisui, where you just click in Terra Blast and you never know which it is until you hit it.
Who
Right?
clicked the move?
Yeah.
So like when you play this, you really have to. I think you have to put up hazards, so that's like going to
You
be a
can figure out.
differentiating factor, right? Like you can kind of track what's taking damage and everything.
Yeah.
This team is. I love this team. I don't love Espeon.
It's really hard to set up. It's really hard to put up hazards though, because if Espeon comes, you kind of don't want to click it.
I don't love Espeon. I like it for magic bounce. I'll give it that. I would probably go for like something with more Spadef to really work with Gliscor or Regirock as like a quadruple core with Muk if you need to. But
Has Hatchery been drafted?
I don't know.
Probably not. I'm not sure if he has the points for it.
I don't think.
Yeah,
we
if you can make
haven't
points
seen
for
it.
I think Hatchery could be quite nice.
No,
But
it's
then you
definitely
play-
on.
I feel like Pittsburgh has it, but I might be wrong.
No, he doesn't.
Must have been tripping.
I think it's undrafted.
No. But yeah, this team really, you're gonna be doing Zoroark Theory pretending to be something, or you're gonna be something pretending to be a Zoroark pretending to be it. You know, there's a lot of levels to that game, and I love doing that type of shit. Like, it's a type of shit where you send in Gliscor with no Toxic Orb, so your opponent thinks, that's Zoroark, and then you just like SD and fuck him up there. So I don't know. Yeah, it's such I love this team. Honestly,
This team is very good. It was so hard to prep for.
you can kind of shit on it defensively, I guess, because kind of, defensive matchup down here is really carried by Berserker, like type-wise, and Berserker fucking sucks. So
That's very true.
if we take away Berserker, suddenly the team has
I
one
feel
rock
like-
resist. It has what? It has like what? We have
I feel
one
like this
ice
team
resist.
doesn't really care that it's
Yeah.
Not good defensively.
Yeah.
You want to be pressing buttons, and they don't want to be those buttons don't want to be recovery or anything like that.
Yeah.
The status move you're pressing is stealth rods.
Yeah, I do love the
And
team.
then you're pressing the super effective button, and I really like that.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I'm going to give this like a 9 as well. I don't think it's as solid as one above, but the one above has a little bit of a struggle where you're going to really be competing for for team slots, because all your roles are kind of spread out across many Pokemon. And this team below here is it's so fun to use, and how do I say? It's very versatile and very, very difficult to prep for because there's so many bullshit things you can do.
Mhm. This team offensively functions well. On the defense, though, it's interesting is that when you actually in practice, if you're too passive with it, it feels like it definitely wears down because the defensive core you can see kind of struggles in that aspect.
Yeah.
But if you just go in, you force your opponent to be on the back foot. I think that's where this team really shines.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that I can't give it anything higher than an 8.
Yeah, that's
But
fair enough.
I think I can't put my finger on what it is, but it looks so fun to use, right? It can't be anything lower than an 8.
Yeah, it's amazing vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick with my 9, I guess. I gave it even 8.5.
I'll give it 8.
No, I think 9 is fine. There's something stopping me from.
Well, that was good power rankings for the season.
Yes, it was.
Just joined for half of it by Chuke, and again we have more than an hour of video, so that's fantastic.
Wait.
If you're here till the end, comment good luck, Chukebird, wherever he is, dodgeball tournament or something.
Yeah. Also,
Who knows?
if you're watching, comment your favorite Tobias rage. I have quite a lot of them.
Yes, there's a fine selection for you to pick from.
Also, if you're watching on Saturday, comment "Happy Birthday, Tobias."
If anyone's watching this on the 30th, yeah. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be it. See you guys.
Take care.
Goodbye.